the 8th in the year of 2021. It is 8 p.m. Eastern, and this is a voice of Agrode. I'm one of the founders of Splinterlands. I'm on the business side as a CEO, and I'm joined by the other founder, which is Matt. Matt, do you want to say hello to the people?
Hello, everybody. Happy Friday evening or early Saturday morning, depending upon where you are.
Now, Matt, where are you right now? Are you at the new office that we have, or are you back at home?
No, I'm back at home. We were at the office during the day today, but went back home for dinner and stuff.
Okay. What'd you think of the new office? How's that looking? How's that feeling?
It's very nice, especially to be able to get out of the house and have a quiet, clear place to work now.
Sweet. Okay, so Nate is going on a date with his wife, and so he wanted to get this thing out here shortly. And I know everybody wants to go get some eye candy. So Nate, can you unmute yourself and come say hi real quick?
Yes, can you hear me pretty clearly?
I can hear you great. So Nate, do you want to introduce yourself real quick for the audience? Tell people who you are, what you do, and then make everybody in this room happy.
Sure. So, yeah, my name is Nate. As the creative director for Splinterlands, my domain usually involves, well, pretty much just the creative side. So we're talking overseeing the artwork, the animations, the UX, the overall user design of whatever Agro and Yaba come up with, and say, hey, we think the game should do this, then usually that falls in my lap to kind of figure out, well, how would that look and how would that work and how would we figure out a way to do it to where the players are having fun and it's exciting and it's easy to understand. So that turns into UI, which of course gets eventually handed off to the development team to actually implement and execute, and then boom, you see it on the screen before your very eyes. So that's part of what I'm involved with. It's pretty exciting. For those of you who have seen on social media or in the Mavericks channel, we posted a call to arms for anyone creative. So I've started getting emails from interested parties, and it's pretty exciting to be able to flip through people's portfolios and see just all the innovation and all the creativity that's just coming from our player base alone. So um, if you haven't got a message back from me on that, and you're one of those people or those individuals who submitted something, a resume or a portfolio, then don't worry, I'm working through it. I'll get to you. So yeah, did Yaba Agrod or anyone on the? Do you guys want to see anything specifically?
Well, no, I'd ask you to prep a little bit of eye candy, or asked if you would be able to prep a little bit of eye candy. And the folks I think are always interested in land. There's this thing called Chaos Legion, and I guess some folks are going to be interested in Chaos Legion. And there's some things called vouchers. Maybe there's something about vouchers that are in the world, and hopefully you could give us just a little morsel of what's to come, because these guys, they're hungry. I can tell you, this is about as pumped as I've ever seen this community. So, um,
Awesome.
so hit us with what you got.
All right, so let's start off nice and easy. We just put our toe in the water. Um, Part of what I'm doing, besides just the visuals, really revolves around the lore. The depth that are up until now, the lore has acted pretty much as a backdrop to the functionality of the game. It was more flavor than anything else. So it wasn't really what I would call emphasized as a centerpiece around which elements of the game revolved, and that's something that I would like to change. And so we're going gangbusters on that. I've already been very pleased and happy with the work that's been put in with a couple of our new writers who their background is in tabletop RPG, Dungeons and Dragons, campaign and resource manuals, and things of that nature. So we'll probably look at bringing on one or two other writers as well, but I'm excited because lore fuels the other aspects of what we do creatively. So it starts with an idea. It starts with a concept of, or a character idea, and then it just spins from there to the illustrator, and from the illustrator, the concept designs are created, which I'll share momentarily, and then from there it goes to maybe an animator, and from the animator it goes elsewhere, and eventually it's going to pop up on your screen, and it's going to be amazing. So let's start off with just the overall concepts. I know that, let's see, with Chaos Legion, we are going to introduce players to Prytoria in general. So before you guys get to claim your deeds, turn in your claims for land and see what it is. We really want you to understand where it is that you're going to be setting up your buildings, and we want you excited by the fact that, hey, I just flipped a land, and it's not just the fact that it's a common or a legendary land, or that it's a freaking bog or a cliff. We want you equally excited by the fact that, hey, your land is near the village of such and such, a village that you read about in a story that got that was in a pivotal battle with the Chaos Legion just a few months ago. So that's we want to excite people with that. So let me find. In fact, let's kind of give you an idea here. I think some of you have already seen this before, but I just want to pop it in here just for those who haven't seen it yet. This is usually what people see upon approaching Prytoria to begin with. So this is, you'll look down there in the lower left, you'll see the harbor, and that is the harbor that most of the people come to Prytoria to, up until now, to witness the Mount Mox tournaments. And Mount Mox is the mountain that's shadowing over that city to
Did
the
you
right,
did you put an image in?
the left. Oh, let me see. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it in the wrong channel. Hold on.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we put it in Mav. Yeah,
Okay,
that's no bueno.
there we go.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay, so you'll see that the harbor is there. Most people, people didn't realize that Pretoria was a continent until the Wizard Council disappeared. If you look in the lore book from the previous Kickstarter, it just looks like a tiny island, and that was because it was hidden by magical forces that hid its true nature from the world. So up until now, people thought that this was a little island. You'd show up at the harbor, you'd go to the nearby city, and you'd kind of take a little mechanism that takes you up the mountainside to witness the greatest tournaments within the Splinterlands. All the land past that mountain to the left side of the screen was hidden by a wizardly veil that fogged the mind, so to speak. Sailors would move around it, not knowing that they're moving around a continent, just because of the magics involved. So Chaos Legion is going to really dig deep into the lore that is eventually going to piggyback into land. So now, when it comes to the lore of Prytoria, we got some stories coming along, and to prepare for those stories, we have a new race that we have already introduced with the reward cards, and they're called the Venari. And there's a quick sketch, a concept sketch of some of the Venari. The Venari are a rat-like creature. They've kind of made a deal. No one knows, and keep in mind they're split. Some Venari are actually good guys, or gals who are just rat people who just want to help out. But there's a segment of this new rat population that's made a deal with the invading forces, and you're going to be introduced to them in stories leading up throughout the pre-sale, and what kind of part they have to play as far as that goes. Now, actually, this would be cool. Let's talk about what's going to be the promo card, and I'm not going to unleash everything, but I will like to say that before we get into it, I saw something earlier today that was just funny as heck. Where is it? Let me see. Get image. Okay. I thought this was funny. This is from, I guess, a player or an account named Magoo's. So when I saw this little meme-ish looking thing that they put on their blog post. I thought, okay, it's very fitting because, we started off with dark energy crystals being in such high demand and people valuing them more and more and more. And now we have SPS, and SPS is being valued more and more and more, and people want it, and people covet it, and people want to store it and stake it. And what you guys, we've touched on it previously by a little bit, but you guys need to be ready for vouchers. And here is basically how everyone's going to feel pretty soon. You will never, ever have enough of these things. Vouchers are going to be as highly valued as SPS, a dark energy crystal, is my take on it. And the reason why is because that's part of my job. Part of my job is going to be making sure that for all of you guys who keep saying, you know what, I'm just gonna sell my vouchers. I'm gonna buy the packs when you don't need vouchers anymore. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do my darndest to make sure that all of you, whether you use them for Chaos Legion packs or not, are going to be like, no, I don't want to give these out. Uh, any on any future promotions, I'm going to support with stories and characters and things to immerse you in the world and things that are going to hopefully make you want to use your vouchers on things that we provide. So let's case in point. Let's get into the story for the promo card, which is probably going to be one of the biggest motivations for holding on your vouchers and buying them throughout the pre-sale. So um, there's going to be some stories involved with the promo character, more so than any other promo character that we have created in the past. So I won't get into all of it, and I won't share all the artwork, but it starts off with, let's see, here's a concept sketch. This is a botanist guy who stumbles upon an evil force, and it changes him. It changes him in a horrible way. And through the story, I think that you'll not only sympathize with his plight, but you'll realize that what he becomes is something horrific, but also pretty darn cool. So let's see what we got here. What he ends up, and I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna wait until next AMA to really give you the full picture of what this guy is about because it's really cool. But I'll share with you. Let's see. Here we go. He ends up being called a guy named Dr. Blight. And here's another sketch.
Ah, that makes me
And
so happy.
And what we're getting into is when the pre-sale happens, I intend to have a story page that really digs deep, not only into Prytoria where everyone's buying land, and not only into the events of the Chaos Legion and how it affects the population, but this guy is pivotal. I'm telling you, you guys are going to want to stake your SPS and get vouchers so that you can get as many of this guy as possible. Here is once he goes through his transformation, he basically becomes a herald, a precursor to the Chaos Legion itself and what's about to happen. So we've gone over different ways in order to best display him, um, not only with animations and on the story page and within his story, but this gives you an idea of this guy's a creepy guy. And his powers are not only creepy, but extremely powerful. Um, so let's see what else we got here. I don't want to share everything, but I want to make sure that we lead up to something cool. So this guy is instrumental in, here, I'll share this. This guy's pretty instrumental in opening a gateway, and that gateway is located in the heart of Prytoria, where you guys are all buying land. So it's pretty much ground zero for the events that take place during Chaos Legion. Dr. Blight is going to be a critical part of unlocking the gateway within the volcano known as Mount Prytoris, the mountain of ash, located in the middle of Prytoria. No one realizes that there is this gateway that is, in the middle of this volcano. And here is a picture to kind of give you an idea of what that gateway looks like. That's unleashing the Chaos Legion. Um,
Yeah, if you see that, you're probably going to have a bad day. I'm just going out there and saying that's not where you're going to want to hang out.
so what you end up with, and I will get you guys here. I'll get you guys something good. Um, Here's a wallpaper. How about that? I gave a wallpaper last time I was on the AMA, and that was kind of giving a glimpse, a very small taste. This is a much bigger taste of the Chaos Legion's arrival. So why don't you guys enjoy this and put that on all of your desktops?
That's pretty awesome. One of the bats. That's great. What do you call that color blue for the Chaos Legion?
That's called cool blue.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
So, in addition to that kind of stuff, we wanted to be able to onboard people into. I mean, this is not our first major card set expansion, and all the new people who are being onboarded, not just into the game, but into the lore of the game. We wanted to make it an easy entry point for them, particularly since a lot of them maybe don't know how to go on Splinter Talk and go through all the lore from before, all the blog articles, or maybe they don't know how to access that lore book that was released in the PDF. We want to bring those guys on board and have them emotionally invested. So we are working on some cool stuff to bring them up to speed. I'm not going to tell you what yet. I'll probably share that on the next AMA. But these are pieces of artwork that are being put together and animated for the express purpose of catching people up to speed with what Splinterlands is, what is the basis for the game. Like that, for instance, that picture I just put on there, that is a mana well, and that is, actually the history of the Splinterlands, and it's going to go over exactly, hey, this is how mana works. This is a mana well, and this is what happened in the past to harness the elemental powers within the planet, and things of that nature. So we're going to get into that in a very concise fashion, in a way that's not only going to appeal to veteran players, but also new players, and bring them on board and say, hey, look, this is what the game's about. It's more about, it's not just about spreadsheets and DeFi and earning profits and rank play and all that. There's a lot of cool stuff behind the scenes is going to come to the forefront. So that's the stuff that the creative team is working on right now. I feel like, and part of the creative team has nothing to do with this, but they are steadily working on the cool animations that we're hoping to integrate into the battle screen pretty soon. So, I mean, I guess I can. Did I ever share with? I don't remember what I shared and didn't share in the past. Did I ever share the gladiator on the horse? I like that one. Did I share that one yet?
I don't think so. I've seen the flame-headed swords person, but I don't think I've seen any other animations. So if you have any,
Okay. So
then
I've
you
been
should.
sitting on this one for a long time, but I always thought this one was pretty cool. So if people tell me that I've already shared that one, then I'll share a
No,
different one.
no. But you should share another one too. The people are going to go nuts.
Okay. Did I already share the? I know I shared this guy back in the past on a card. Did I show him as an animation?
No, I don't think we've ever seen that as an animation.
Okay. All right. So
Oh, so you just died because of backfire. It's very sad.
so the idea here is that eventually someday the battle screens will, these are idle animations. We want to eventually have attack animations, and I want to add two more statuses for these characters. So you'd have idle, you'd have attack, you'd have if they kill somebody, they kind of roar in triumph type deal. That would be cool if the surviving team, after the other team was defeated, they all just went into their triumph mode. That would be cool. And then I also want one more animation for when they're like they get a killing blow on themselves and they're dying or whatever. Instead of just poofing with a poof of smoke, it'd be cool to see them in anguish and just kind of fall to the ground or something. So these are ideas on what we want to do in order to elevate the overall quality of gameplay and what people are seeing, and really just go head to head with more the mainstream. Now that we've kind of conquered the blockchain gaming space, it's time to really roll up our sleeves and say, hey, we're ready to kind of play in the big leagues. Let's play with the big boys now. So that's us preparing for that. So yeah, thanks for letting me share, and I will share more on the next AMA. My wife Rainey will make sure that I am awake even if you decide to do it at 9 a.m. So I'll be ready for the pre-sale demonstration of what's to come.
Sweet. Well, Nate, those things were absolutely gorgeous, really exciting. The lore is awesome. I want to take just a little hint of the love for the for Dr. Blight. I was pretty, normally I just let Nate do anything and everything and be like, all right, the best thing I really did for this game was just move out of his way and let him be as awesome and creative as he is. But that character, Dr. Blight, I don't know if you guys know this, that's a plague doctor, right? That's like, there's a bit of historical fact that's in that. And just given the times that we live in, with COVID all around us, I just thought like this kind of plague doctor character was just so like in the zeitgeist, in the moment. And so normally I just say, Nate, make things that are awesome, please, and then step out of his way. But this one, I just felt like we really need a plague doctor. He just has to be in the game.
So, and for those of you wondering, I know he's very death-like, and there's a tiny possibility he might end up being death, but I think there's a stronger possibility he ends up being neutral to make him a more valuable character and to be utilized more most of the time.
Interesting. Yeah, but if he's neutral, he's not going to be a summoner, right?
No.
Okay.
But ultimately, that's a Yaba choice. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no, we're not having neutral summoners. But
All right. Well, Nate, hopefully you go off and enjoy your dinner with the lovely Rainey, and thanks for sharing this awesomeness with us. And if, by the way, you see all these things show up on Splinter Talk as NFTs, please don't be shocked.
No, you bring up a good point. Everyone keep an eye open, because yes, you will want to read these stories that are being put out. You will want to follow the lore. For those of you who do, we are hoping to strategize things in a way to where it is beneficial to you, at least in a Splinter Talk sense or a Splinter Talk NFT sense. But that's being planned out. But don't ignore the lore. It's going to be cool.
Awesome. Okay. Well, thank you, Nate. Matt, do you want to kind of give us a high level of where we're at or what we're doing, or what are we out of the woods with like server issues? Are we back on feature development? Are we still really trying to dive into that? Where do you think we are in overall? And can you tell us a little bit about the people you spent your day with?
yeah, for sure. I mean, the game's definitely running generally stably, but there's always going forward. There always has been, always going forward, going to be various issues that pop up with things from time to time. So really, I mean, our focus is expanding the team, so we have DevOps people that work on server issues and things like that, and it's not just me and Cryptomancer, where whenever there are issues, we have to stop doing feature development and switch to working on production issues. So now we have more people that are starting. Hardpoint, as you guys kind of met at the last AMA, was in our new office today, and there's going to be more people there next week as I kind of start to really onboard and get some of the new folks really familiar with our code and server setup and, you know, how everything works. So, you know, there's always going to be stuff that comes up as far as, you know, server issues and different problems that crop up from time to time, but we're going to have dedicated resources working on that stuff. So our feature developers, you know, can just keep working on their features. And we're still, you know, we have 2 new people, and we're going to be also getting more. So hopefully, you know, we'll have even more features being developed in parallel going forward. It's going to take some time though. Like when new people come on, you know, they don't just, you know, start building the next thing right away. So that's why, you know, we try to get a bunch of people in, you know, physically in the same office so we can as efficiently as possible, like work together, you know, build out some new features together. And just over time, you know, hopefully like within the next like 3 to 6 months, my hope is that we have a much larger team and we have a lot of people focusing on all the different areas that we need to focus on. So like, you know, people focusing on back-end server issues and just making things run more smoothly, making sure we can, you know, the next time we 10 or 20x the player base, we'll just be ready ahead of time instead of reacting to it. We'll have people focused on security. We'll have people focused on specific new features. We'll have people working on land while other people are working on, you know, once Chaos Legion is out, there'll be the Rift Watchers, you know, mini set. You know, and then there'll people just be working on like lots of other little features and things that have been requested in these AMAs, and we say, yeah, those are great ideas, they're just not the priority, and we don't have the resources for them. Well, our hope is that soon we will have the resources to do all those things. And then Nate is doing all these great animations and things, so we'll have, you know, hopefully have people that are just working on adding in animations to the game, making the battles look, you know, much better and crisper and more polished and that stuff. So we're really like, it's going to take some time, but we're working on getting it to a point where we have a bunch more people to just be focusing on these things. And then you'll start to see, hopefully it'll just be like this flood of stuff start coming out kind of all together, as we have different people solely focusing on those type of things. So, you know, again, gonna still take some time, but you know, we're finally like really going down that path, and you know, I can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel there.
What are the features that you guys are focusing on the most right now?
Well, right now, Chaos Legion obviously is the main thing, and then otherwise, you know, it's more getting people up to speed on things. So after Chaos Legion, obviously the biggest thing is the first phase of the land expansion. So those are, I guess, those are kind of the 2 big main things. And, you know, also there's the different SPS stuff that we want to do, you know, staking on players, battle rewards, all that kind of stuff.
All right. Let's see, I guess I would share that we're up to 1,071,000 registered accounts. We're up to 538,000 spell books that are part of this ecosystem. We're seeing kind of massive amounts of transactions on chain, even after taking some of the battles off chain. You know, I think we're making headway as a community and as a business, and I don't know, these are exciting times. I think that's what I wanted to do. Do you have the list of questions, Liberty Lass?
Yeah, I share it with you. It's also posted earlier.
Will you just put it in the chat again? So there's not a very long list of questions here. So let's go through these, and then it's 4 pages, which isn't super long, but we have Matt for like 30 minutes. These are the questions that we'll go through with him, and then after that, maybe not the full hour because I'm a little under the weather, but I don't know. After we answer some questions, we'll open it up to everybody. So just so sometimes people get mad at me and they're like, "Why won't you answer all my questions?" and stuff like that. I will. They're just in order. So we go with the sort of updates that we want to talk about, and then after that we go with the questions that people have posted previously, and then we just open it up to anybody that's in the room. So there you go. Anyway, so here's some development questions. Why does Splinterlands choose to utilize the Hive blockchain? Do you think it's superior in some way, or is it just circumstance?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, no, that's a great question. You know, obviously, when the game was created in 2018, there were very few options available. But even still today, the Hive blockchain seems to be a pretty good choice. I mean, we had a few goals and you know, one of them was user friendliness. And you know, Hive, or originally Steam, was kind of created with that in mind. In the sense that like there's a separation of the account name from the keys. So, you know, instead of just, you know, having your wallet address be like, you know, ABC123 long string of letters and numbers, you know, you get to choose your own account name on the blockchain. You get keys with different levels of permissions, which isn't a thing on other chains. So like, you can use your posting key to play, and then you can use your active key to transfer assets out of your accounts and things like that. You know, and then also if your account gets hacked and the keys are changed, it can be recovered and you can get your, you know, keys changed back. Also, the way that, you know, we definitely didn't want to use any chain where there were gas fees, right? We didn't want people to have to pay anything to do transactions in the game. And the way that Hive works, where, you know, not only do you not have to pay gas fees, but players don't even have to stake Hive in their account. They don't have to know anything about Hive or cryptocurrency or any of that. Like we, Splinterlands, basically can get the Hive staked in our account and delegate it to players. So it overall just makes for like a much smoother experience, and more like familiar experience for people who aren't in the crypto world to come on and like get in, get playing, not have to worry about getting crypto, setting up wallets, knowing their wallet address and all that stuff. But at the same time, it like lets people get involved, and then they slowly kind of learn about that stuff, and then we build bridges to other chains, you know, to allow people to basically, you know, sort of like as a marketing and promotional tool to get people from those chains into the game, and also to allow our players, you know, who might want to trade assets on Binance Smart Chain or Wax or wherever, yeah, they can do that. But still, the core game runs on Hive, which, you know, provides that more user-friendly experience that'll help us, I think, mainstream the game a lot more easily than games on other platforms.
Anything you want to say about any of those bridges?
Is there something specifically you're looking for?
It is a bit of a leading question, but I was going to just leave it to see what you would want to share about it.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what you're looking for. I mean, we're always looking to bridge to other platforms and things like that as they come up. It makes sense.
We'll leave it at that. All right. Now that Bronze League players only get game credits, can we please re-enable buying of the quest potions using game credits? What do you think will happen with the quest potion? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure I would want to put it back using game credits. We talked about the issue with the quest potion wasn't just the fact that that the pricing was messed up. It's also the fact that like buying generally overall in the game, we always want to incentivize people to get to higher leagues and to get more assets, right? Get more cards, whether they rent them or buy them or whatever it is. And the quest potion doesn't do that as designed, right? You can just be in Bronze 3 and you get buy the quest potion, and you just get more chests every day. And it doesn't have any, like, there's no reason, there's nothing as far as the quest potion is concerned where it's better to move up in the game. So I think it does need some rethinking. And I think overall, there's a lot more things we can do with potions. We have a lot of ideas for like new potions to do different things and give different benefits. But it should always be the case where, you know, whatever it does, it should do more or better if you're in higher leagues. So, we need to redesign the quest potion a bit, I think, which will happen at some point when, again, we have the resources and time for it.
All right.
But I don't think it's just a matter of putting it back.
Is there any thought about limiting the max power to compete in leaderboards? The last updates made life harder for new players, so at least devs can make sure that only players with power compatible with the league can compete for the leaderboard.
Well, I mean, the leaderboards limit your cards levels, so that's effectively limiting the max. It's like, okay, you could have a huge collection power, you could have max level cards, but if you're playing in, Gold League, they're going to be limited to Gold League levels. So I'm not sure that like having more power really matters. But I guess in general, I would say like if there are issues, we'll have to look at those specifically, see what the actual problem is, and see what the best way is to handle it. Like, for example, I don't think necessarily like limiting the max power would necessarily do anything. It might make people just switch around cards in certain ways to get under that max. But so I prefer to look at it like, let's see if there's a specific problem, understand the problem, and see what the best way is to fix it.
Does Splinterlands have any intention of enabling Google Authenticator 2FA for increased security? And I should tell you, I've gotten a fair number of people this past week that had accounts "quote unquote" hacked. I'm not certain why this week in particular is bad.
I guess there's a couple different things. When an account gets hacked, is it that there's two things that can happen. Either someone could hack their email address and password login, or they could actually hack the keys for the account. So if the keys for the account get hacked, having Google Authenticator 2FA wouldn't do anything, because ultimately it's the transactions on the blockchain or the transactions on the blockchain, and that can't have 2FA on it. But as far as email and passwords getting hacked, yeah, in that case we can do Google 2FA or other 2FA solutions for the email password login. But also recently we made the change where you need the active key to buy cards on the market or to rent cards on the rental market. So that should also help if someone gets a username and password login. They shouldn't be able to transfer any cards out of the account anyway. So I guess it's more, if there's a issue with hacking and it's keys getting stolen, Google 2FA isn't going to help with that. So again, we have to look at the specific problem and see if that's the correct solution or not.
Do you plan to reveal how the vouchers will be used in addition to Chaos Legion pack sales?
I said we definitely plan to reveal it. I don't think we have the details yet to reveal.
Yeah, I agree with Nate's statement of it's our goal to make sure that the people that are receiving them and think, oh, I'll just dump these. We want you to know that the coolest stuff in the game are going to be receivable with vouchers. And if you don't have the vouchers, you won't be able to get the coolest stuff in the game. And that's because vouchers to me are a fungible version of stake days. And what we really want players to do is buy the token and stake the token and hold it for a really long time. And what we did with vouchers is make it so that we can basically give you a fungible token for that. And it's our goal to make sure that, if you are staking and doing that for a long time, that you get the coolest stuff. And everybody else, if you sell, woe unto you. You will ultimately regret that decision. Could you please give an idea of the benefits of the Legionnaire title in game? It's vital to determining voucher prices.
That's a good question. So we'll have to figure that out and announce it before the Chaos Legion pre-sale starts.
Would it be possible to put card packs or vouchers on the marketplace, same as the card payable by DEC? You would have a 5% fee as well, and not the third-party sites.
Yeah, I mean, there's a project to get our in-game marketplace expanded. I know it has coming soon for all these things. I don't think that's definitely not going to happen before the Chaos Legion pre-sale starts, but that's like a higher priority thing on the dev roadmap is to get all the other things tradable on the in-game marketplace for DEC.
And that includes things like skins and packs and
Pretty much everything else in the game.
like all these resources that will be coming. It's going to be awesome. Splinterlands is growing at a fast rate. At this rate, it will easily break more than 2 million users. I'm thinking we'll break more than 2 million users, hopefully by the end of the year. How many concurrent players can the Hive blockchain Splinterlands game handle without any issues?
Yeah, the Hive blockchain certainly should have no problems. And like I mentioned, we've gotten things running smoothly with our current player base size right now, and then there's going to be specific people on our team focused on getting ahead of future scalability. So making sure as we double, triple, 10x, whatever, that we're just ready, and our servers and everything can auto scale and just handle that load. Hopefully no problem.
All right, so these are questions about Chaos Legion cards and vouchers. If all Chaos Legion packs are worth 300 airdrop points, this would mean 15 million times 300 equals 4.5 billion increase in the airdrop points. This is approximately 60% increase in the airdrop points, resulting in much less airdropped SPS per user. Please confirm and or elaborate on this.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, but all 15 million packs aren't going to sell like right away. So yes, I mean, in general, the total number of airdrop points in the system increases day over day. Chaos Legion packs will be a major source of increase. There's a lot more dark energy crystals being printed every day as the price has been higher and higher. So yes, that's correct. The number of total airdrop points in the system will increase. So if you just maintain the same level of airdrop points, your amount of SPS that you get every day will decrease over time.
If one opens his purchased Chaos Legion pack, will he still be eligible for the 300 airdrop points, or is this only when it's unopened?
No, that's only when it's unopened. When you open it, you get cards that will be worth their collection power, just like currently with the existing packs.
How will you ensure whales do not buy up all the Chaos Legion packs upon launch of the public sale? How will everyone be able to purchase the packs? So I think he means post pre-sale.
Yeah, again, we haven't announced or figured out all the details of that yet, but I think we're still going to use some type of similar voucher system even after the pre-sale to just limit the number of packs. It's not like, okay, the other 14 million packs are just available right away to be purchased. There'll be some limiting factors there to just kind of spread it out more over time. But in general, the whales who have the most SPS stake and are getting the most vouchers will be able to buy the most packs.
This next question is weird. I'm going to skip it. I think vouchers make sense for the pre-sale as it gives bigger players that have been around for a bit and or put a lot of money into the game a first crack at some packs. That being said, I worry about vouchers remaining in place after Chaos Legion is fully realized. First thing, this is really giving those large accounts free money. If voucher prices are high, they can sell their extra vouchers and use that money to buy packs. So rather than spreading out the packs, these large accounts will be able to afford even more. Second, I worry that the increased pack price plus an additional cost for vouchers will make entry into the game cost prohibitive for new players. Thoughts?
Yeah, those are good thoughts that we need to think through, and that's why we haven't released the exact details of what will happen after the pre-sale.
Yeah, and I guess I'd just say, the ultimate goal for us right now, or one of the highest objectives, is to get you guys staking SPS and staking it for a long time. So that impacts the rewards that you get, that impacts the whole play to earn aspect of this, that impacts a lot of things for this ecosystem. So we're going to do a lot to make sure that SPS is staked, and there's a lot of reasons to do it. All right, if I'm unable to obtain, say, 1,000 promo vouchers, for example, I get 300 of them. Can I combine the 300 promo with 700 non-promo card packs for a total of 1K card pack purchase to get the Maverick status? Yeah, the mass status is, I think we're going to move it up to 1,000 packs purchased. and that won't have anything to do with vouchers. It'll be how many packs have you purchased from the game itself. Are there any plans to reveal the legendary summoner for the presale and the airdrop value of the title? Yeah, we've mentioned both of those. The legendary summoner.
Well, I think so. I don't know when. I don't think it's necessarily going to be a summoner card. It's going to be a legendary card as the promo card. But like we were talking about, it's likely to be a neutral card that's not a summoner.
Yep.
So
well,
maybe there was a miscommunication there, but like similar to like the chain golem for our last Kickstarter, that would be the new promo card.
will there be a 10% discount on Chaos Legion packs with SPS after the presale ends?
I don't think so. But again, like the main sale details aren't figured out yet.
During the grace period week, will I be able to combine my voucher pack and regular purchases together to make enough packs for bonus packs? There's a lot of questions.
During the grace period week, that would just be purchasing the remaining packs in the pre-sale. So that's like only the pre-sale voucher packs would be available for sale during that time.
I would rather know if I could buy Chaos Legion packs for $4 or less without a voucher after the pre-sale ends. How many Chaos Legion packs can be bought without a voucher?
Yeah. I guess we need again, same thing. We haven't figured that out yet. Obviously, like that's something that needs to be, figured out and announced sooner rather than later. But for all those questions, we don't have the details yet.
And one of the things that you should know is that, if somebody buys a pack with a voucher, they can go put that on the secondary market and you can buy it. You won't get the airdrops, but you can get the Chaos Legion packs. So that's something to consider. All right, then maybe we'll go skip over some of these. Voucher tokens will be fungible tokens that can be transferred. Yes. All right, SPS airdrop questions. How much airdrop points for SPS, if any and all, the vouchers will be worth? That doesn't make much sense. When buying Chaos Legion packs with SPS, will the price of SPS be constantly changing?
The first question just means, will the vouchers be worth any airdrop points? So the plan is no.
Yeah. Okay. When buying Chaos Legion packs with SPS, will the price of SPS be constantly changing with the market price, or will it be determined in another way?
Market price for both SPS and Dark Energy crystals, so it's not going to be like a fixed amount. It'll just be, the current market price.
Can we get guilds somehow worked into the SPS airdrop? I want to get my friends into the game, but the thought of throwing thousands of dollars into a void to get a guild together is really off-putting.
Yeah, there is an SPS pool for guilds and Guild Brawl, and that's one of the remaining SPS rewards that we need to put into the game. I don't have a timeline for that, but that is on the roadmap.
How is SPS market price currently being calculated on the SPS management page?
It should be like a combination of BSC price and Hive engine diesel pool price. And I think it's like, it takes like the price every like 10 minutes and uses an average of the last some number, maybe like hours worth.
Is the SPS reward pool for ranked battles still a priority?
I mean, it's still a priority, but certainly behind Chaos Legion. But yeah, it's one of our higher priority things.
Can you add the total amount of SPS distributed to the SPS page? It is currently unclear how much is circulated in the community and how much is still held in dev wallets before being airdropped, minted but not released.
Yeah, I agree that there could be more information about that stuff. We're also still in the process of, building out the minter contract on BSC to automatically. Currently, it's a monthly manual process, but we should have a smart contract on there that gets it minted new SPS for the different reward pools on a regular basis. So there's some work still being done on that whole process.
Has any thought been given to increasing the DEC capture rate based on the amount of staked SPS on an account, so people who are invested in the game can play more games with a higher DEC rate? Then you could possibly lower the natural rate on accounts to combat bots.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something that we're considering as far as just giving staked SPS value.
Guild questions. How viable do you think a guild bank would be for players to donate cards, DEC, SPS, vouchers, land, that guild mates can see assets held by this and a UI to track everything everyone donated?
Yeah, I think overall there's a lot we want to do with guilds, possibly like making guilds work sort of like a DAO rather than, the guild leader just being in control of everything, more make it like, players who contribute to the guild for different things, get some type of token, then guilds can, guild members can vote using their kind of stake in the guild for stuff like that. So this would kind of fall into that whole thing, which is a lower priority than a lot of the other features we have mentioned, but it's something like that's been brought up and discussed and we want to do. So I think there'd definitely be like at some point some general like guild update where we add a lot of this stuff in.
Land questions. In the past, I had asked if a region will have a random locations for the 1,000 plots, or will they be next to each other? Will they be contiguous? If they are next to each other, will they be able to produce all the different resources materials needed for new spell cards?
They'll all be together, so your region will be in one area of the map, and all your plots will be there. We try to make each region have a pretty good spread of different land types. It's not like you're going to get a region that's like all forest. They'll have a whole bunch of different land types. They probably won't have every different land type though, and I think a lot of people are trying to figure out like how they can get every different type of land plot to get every different type of resource. And I look at it differently. There's going to be lots of AMM, like Uniswap style markets for trading all the resources. So I think it might be actually like better to sort of specialize in a few different things and then just trade for the things that you need on those markets. So I think they're
I'm a
it
big
doesn't
fan.
necessarily make sense to try to get like one of every different land type.
I'm a big fan of the economic phrase "do what you do best and trade for the rest." So I agree with Matt that we want this to be, it's probably better to be the specialist in Sparkstone than the generalist in everything.
Yeah, but it's still generally, if you have a whole region, I mean, even though it's going to be together, you'll have a real good spread of different stuff. Like you'll have a lot, and we made the map like there's all different types of terrains all lumped in together, or they're like kind of like long and snaky, so they go through a bunch of different regions.
All right, these are under the category requests. Can you add to the fact when the AMAs are typically scheduled and where we can find the archives? So these AMAs are typically done on Fridays at either 9 a.m., 2 p.m., or 8 p.m. Eastern. And they typically rotate. The next one I'm planning to be on a week from today in the middle of the day at 2 p.m. Does that work for you, Matt?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. All right. And then the next question, are you guys updating the way you can change positions and cards? My mouse has a hard time dragging, but it's fine clicking. Can you guys make it so that I can somehow move the card positions with the arrow keys?
Yeah, I mean, that seems like a great small, UI change to me.
Okay. Can we get some more room up here on the DEC display to display all the DEC we should all be buying for the foreseeable future? Currently only fits 9 digits comfortably. I think he wants like 1 trillion DEC.
So we can make it auto scale down the font as you get higher to fit more digits.
If he gets 1 trillion. All right, would you consider making a visual distinction between when a card is owned versus rented during battle? If you spend thousands on a max level legendary, you should be entitled to a little harmless flex of showing it is not rented for peanuts.
Yeah, that sounds cool too. We have lots of great suggestions. I want you to know, like I note all these things down, and even though a lot of them might not happen, I kind of talked or happen quickly. I talked about earlier on that as we bring in more dev resources, we want like one channel of work to be like all this little stuff that together, like, really just makes the whole product better.
Can we see the new summoners coming out? So we don't have all the new summoners. In part, well, there's summoners that are just part of normal Chaos Legion, but you'll also remember that the top 6 spenders in Chaos Legion will get to be able to go design their own summoner alongside of us. So we do put in a little bit of control for what they put together, but I can't tell you every summoner that comes out because we don't even know them yet. We'll have to find out during the pre-sale who gets to do this. All right, these are the last 4 questions. When battles are split into 2 formats, will there be any perks to play in Wild where you need a far more expensive deck to compete?
Well, currently there's just going to be a separate reward pool in Wild and Modern, and they're going to be, equal. But that's just to begin. And it was, as with everything, we're kind of going to see how this goes. And if there is clearly an issue or an imbalance or whatever, then we'll adjust as necessary. So it's really hard to anticipate everything ahead of time. So a lot of times it's better to put out something reasonable, as a starting point and see what happens in actuality before deciding what changes to make.
Who wins in a chess match, Aggroed or Yabet, Matt? I concede to Matt. With the increase in tournament prize pools, can you address the possibility of players teaming up in these and gifting wins to their team to maximize winnings, and any official stance Splinterlands has on this?
Yeah, I would say, that's one of the things we kind of will have to keep an eye on and see if that seems to be happening or being a problem, and then if so, decide how to handle it. I mean, obviously we don't want that to happen. It's not like some type of bannable offense or whatever currently, but yeah, let's again see if it's a problem, and then figure out how to deal with it.
And the last question: Splinterlands Netflix TV series, when? It is actually on our brain. I've actually had some of these conversations with folks. I am a firm believer. Like, if you look at Pokemon and the success of that product, there is a legion of Pokemon fans that grew up watching that cartoon, and that is forever in their minds and brains. And my own kids were watching that not too long ago. And I would love to see Splinterlands as an animated series, comic books, collectible NFTs, lore bites, all this stuff. So I definitely want to see that happen. All right, Matt, we got you for 2 more minutes. So anything you'd like to sort of leave us with, or thoughts that you want to share with us before we let you go?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a real exciting time. Yeah, and I think, a lot of times it's harder to see for players, because you guys don't see behind the scenes. Hopefully we give you a little view behind the scenes in these AMAs. But from my perspective, we kind of went from things were really bad and difficult, in the July, August, and early September timeframe. And, not only did we get through that and get to a much better state, but we're just, we have so many good people that are coming on board now, and the positive effects of those people coming on board are not going to be felt for a little while, but as they take time ramping up. But when you get some real top-notch developers, there's a term in the tech industry of a 10x developer. Good developers can do 10x the amount of coding work, or 10x the amount of features in the time that a not great developer does it. And I would say a lot of these people we brought on board are much better than I am also at a lot of these things. So I see that happening. I see these people, I'm working with them, I see what they can do. And some of them have even started delivering features before they're even officially started at Splinterlands, just at night while they're still finishing their 2 weeks with their other job. So that just gets me excited. Once I'm trying to think of like an analogy, which is escaping my mind for this, but it's like, all this stuff is just like building up in the background, and I think at some point it's just going to explode out with like massive improvements to the game in the not too distant future. So, there's been some difficult times in the past, in the recent few months, and some people may have gotten frustrated and left, and that's unfortunate, but it happens. But the people that stuck around, I think are going to be extremely well rewarded in the future. So it's very exciting to me.
Well, rock on. Okay, we're gonna let Matt go, and I'm actually feeling okay. I've had a 100+ fever all day today, and have been basically just bedridden. But I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. So I think what I'm gonna do is open this up to questions. And now the moment that you all have been waiting for, except if Cryptomancer responds to me. It seemed like he was typing just a second ago. All right, here's Cryptomancer. We're going to let him just kind of catch us up on what he's doing, and then after that, we're going to open it up to questions generally, and we'll see what happens. Mancer, are you there? Cryptomancer, hello?
Can you hear me?
There we go. Now I can. All right, Mancer, what are you working on? Not everybody knows who you are, so can you give yourself a quick introduction, and then after that, just tell us what you're working on.
All right. So for those of you who don't know me, I've been with Splinterlands for almost 2 years now, and I'm one of the core devs working on major feature development. So I'm the guy that coded the collection power system, the anytime tournament system, and the brawls. I tend to be involved with most of the major new game systems that we're working on. And my primary focus right now, my 100% absolute laser focus right now is on getting the Chaos Legion pre-sale ready to go so that we can launch on time on October 18th.
How are you feeling about that? You feel like we're going to make it?
Yep. I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling excited. There's a lot of work remaining to be done, but I think we will launch on time. And many of you will have noticed just the other day, a countdown page has appeared. So if you go to the shop page where the Untamed page used to be, we now have a countdown saying exactly when the pre-sale will launch. And that is accurate to the second. So when that thing hits 0, if you're watching the page, when it hits 0, it will automatically refresh and the pre-sale page will pop up on your screen and you will be ready to go.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
It does. Nate came up with a really good design for the pre-sale page. It's actually, I like just looking at it. Like, you'll appreciate the flow and how it's all put together. It's really a cool page, and hopefully it should be pretty intuitive for people to use. I know there's a lot of factors that go into the pre-sale. There's the vouchers and the various discounts and the benefits, and it's a lot to absorb if you read that announcement post. So hopefully the information will all be presented pretty clearly on the pre-sale page itself and easy to understand so you can make decisions about what you want to do. And as far as those vouchers are concerned, we're aiming for the first voucher drop to occur probably right before the pre-sale itself goes live. So when the pre-sale page actually appears, you will already have your first day's worth of vouchers. So you can go in there and you can start purchasing the packs right away. So if you want to be absolutely certain and absolutely safe that you're going to get that first voucher drop, make sure your SPS is staked before the pre-sale starts, because the first voucher drop will probably occur shortly before it starts.
Nice.
And
how are vouchers being done? Are these like SPS in that they're daily, or is this like the SPS airdrop, or are they more like the SPS staking where it kind of accumulates over time?
They will be done daily, so it'll be every 24 hours or so. The timing will be different from the SPS airdrop. It'll be the exact time isn't decided yet, but it'll it'll be at a different time from the SPS airdrop. So it will occur for 30 days, every 24 hours until all the vouchers are distributed. And unlike the SPS airdrop, there probably won't be a claim button for the vouchers. They'll just accumulate in your account. So when you go to the pre-sale page, it'll tell you how many vouchers you currently have and when was the last airdrop to your account. So you can see them gradually build up over time.
Rock on.
And I'd also like to point out there's no real rush. I mean, you don't have to be. It's not like the land pre-sale where it sold out in 30 seconds. I mean, because of the voucher system and everything, this pre-sale is really going to stretch for the full time period. And you do not need to be there within 30 seconds when the pre-sale page opens. You can take your time. You can go at your own pace. There's absolutely no need to get in all in the first minute here. So we don't want to overload the website and cause everything to crash because everyone's trying to get in right at the first second.
Yeah.
You can take your time.
There's a lot of you guys that are trying to do this. I've been sharing this in Mavs, and I just want to keep harping on this, that there's 1 million registered users and there's over 500,000 spellbook owners, and the pre-sale only has 1 million packs. So I will say there's not enough for everybody. In this case, there's enough for everybody to get on average 2 packs. So if you get more than 2 packs, you're doing really well. And I know everybody is going to FOMO and everybody's going to go crazy. And normally I actually do try to, as like the head of FOMO, I try to blossom that. But for this one, I want to tell you, hey, let's all relax. Let's be kind to each other. It's like there's a little bit of push and shove still, but let's be kind, because there really is, like, this is pretty competitive. And so just keep that in mind, that if you get more than 2 packs, you're doing great. Anything else you want to add, Manser?
Nope, that's about it for me. So I'm just going to keep plugging away on getting the pre-sale ready, and it's going to be a really exciting time. Rock on.
All right. Well, thanks, Manser. I'm going to put you back on mute, or you put himself on mute. All right. Well, the time you've all been waiting for, you guys get to pepper me with questions. So if you notice in chat, like Brybro, you see how he has that big, bold question, all caps, and it's pretty obvious that that's a question. That makes my life better. So I got maybe about 30 more minutes of this. And then please keep your chatter down, because it can be hard to focus. So if we buy Chaos Legion packs the first day of the pre-sale, those packs will be eligible for the next SPS airdrop. If the packs are in there before the airdrop and you have them in your balance, then that should work. Will the guild market discount apply for buying Chaos Legion packs added to the SPS purchase discount? No, that tends to work for things like the Rift Watchers, orbs, and dice, not for the main packs. What are the criteria to be a personal account? KYC. I don't actually know what that means. No, I just mean that there's 500,000 accounts that have purchased a spellbook. So that's where the 2 packs per person. The pre-sale is only 1 million packs, and there's 500,000 spellbook owning accounts. So it's actually more than that. So there's on average a little bit less than 2 per person. How much of a scale and resource gain from land will cards have? Will every land require a summoner and additional cards? I don't know the scale yet. We're still kind of crunching numbers on that. We won't reveal that till the end. Will every land require a summoner and additional cards? We want summoners and monsters to be working land. I won't guarantee that every card is going to require that, but generally speaking, we want at least 1 summoner and probably multiple monsters per land. Can we get a filter to show what cards we do not own in the market, so we can see the cards cost easily without having to use my cards, show all cards, click cards for sale? Just check the cards at price. Yeah, that's a good one. Is Matt still here, or did he take off? Yeah, we'll try to save that question and get that to Matt. Will we be able to play in both league formats at the same time? I mean, you'll be maybe not like right at the same moment, But yeah, you should be able to play in Wild and Modern. Do you have a plan for conversion of potions into DEC or credits? No, we do not. Those potions are meant to encourage you to buy cards. What's my favorite color? Probably burnt orange. How long will vouchers be needed during chaos? Will it be done after pre-sale or after 2 million packs or more, etc. sold? We haven't set the final number, but vouchers are going to be needed like generally throughout the game. So that's going to be kind of the spendable currency that we want folks utilizing. So they'll be part of this. I can't necessarily tell you every piece of what they do. Do you have to save your vouchers to be able to buy bulk and get rebates? Yes. So when you buy the packs, you're going to want to do like 100 packs at a time if you want the bonus, or 1,000 packs at a time, and that means you're going to have to come in with 1,000 vouchers. If you buy 1,000 packs, one pack at a time, you won't get all the bonuses. After 30 days pre-sale, will we still get voucher from staking SPS and need it to purchase from the 14 million packs? The next stage hasn't been fully announced. We'll let you know when we do. When lands are released for purchase, the current land is too limited. And that is honestly by design. You know, we want it so that land is a super scarce resource. It is limited. There's definitely not enough for everybody. You know, there's 150,000 plots total, and there's 500,000, like spellbook owners in the ecosystem. There's just not enough for everybody to own one, and that's by design, and we're going to leave it like that. If we launch some new game, then it's possible that we'll do land in the new game. You know, so if we have a tactics game or something, we might launch some other type of this, but don't hold your breath. We're going to keep land super scarce. If new lands are released, will they be competitive towards current land prices? Probably not, because they would be part of something different. Will there be exactly 1 million vouchers in the drop, same as a pack for the presale? So if we wait until the last day of the presale to accumulate vouchers, we'll be guaranteed packs. You know, I keep thinking about that we probably need at least a little bit more than exactly 1 million. You know, there should be like a 10% buffer, just because it won't be perfectly smooth, but it'll be close. You can wait for the last day. Yeah, you don't need to buy. I would just encourage you to, like, when you get to the number of packs that you want to purchase with the discount that you're excited for, I would buy then, because then if you have the packs, then you'll also be getting the airdrops points for them. How many out of the 15 million packs are going to be sold without a voucher? That is not currently declared. Will vouchers airdrop start counting a day before the presale starts? Otherwise, first 24 hours of presale, nobody will be able to buy packs. Manser mentioned that a little bit. It sounds like the first day will start before prior to the presale. So you'll get your first vouchers set before the presale begins. Why did the Chaos Legion gold cards get lowered to 25x? The regular foil instead of the normal 50x, the regular foil for power burn rate. Mostly because everybody is opening the packs with the potions, and that means that basically everybody is getting twice the amount of the golds, and so we wanted to kind of reflect some of that in the overall power of the cards. Can we have marketplace filters for melee, ranged, and magic damage, arranged by damage, speed, health, and armor? Yeah, there's always requests for stuff like this in the marketplace. Hopefully one of the dudes that we get with one of the new devs we'll put on it. A tech question only Matt can solve. Can you pay him to view your ticket? No, but I don't know. Hopefully Matt can get to it. Question: have you thought of a game mode just for fun, no DEC rewards, where you have access to all cards at max level to practice? Yeah, I mean it's a good idea. It's not the focus of the game. It would be cool, but that's not the next thing we're going to do. Do you have any deals you're working on with partners? Can you elaborate at all? If so, yeah, I have some giant deals that I'm working on. Unfortunately, I can't elaborate on them. But these things, it'll drop all your jaws if these things come true. Question, can we get a full marketplace on mobile? I would love to be able to buy and rent cards via mobile and play more when I'm not home. Does a mobile site have that? Just m dot splinterlands.com. Okay, it's not letting me do this from here. I don't know. So when we do like the apps, like, you know, generally when you guys are like, hey, why don't you do this really simple thing? It's usually like the reason why we don't do it is government. Or in this case, it would be some big partner or something. So in this case, it's like, you know, we'd love to be able to have crypto in the apps, but like the Apple Play Store and Google Play Store aren't going to let that happen. So as long as they are not crypto friendly, then we're going to have to go keep that stuff out of there. But, you know, that's why we have the mobile site. And so you could just, you open up a browser and you go to m.splinterlands.com, and hopefully you can get a lot of the stuff. How many new summoner cards will add in card list? There should be 5 rares. There will be airdrops of 5 legendaries, and I actually don't even know if we're going to do any epics in this one. And every now and then we talk about common summoners. You know, we know that there's going to be a lot of summoners needed for land. Sometimes we talk about common summoners, but I don't know where we're at with that. That's not my baby. Question, is there going to be a daily challenge for both Wild and Modern to get daily quests in each game mode? I don't know yet. Question, update on the new mini edition. Will it be voucher based? I don't think the Rift Watchers will be, but you know, it'll probably be the same thing where like, you know, the first cards that are going to get all the airdrops and all the benefits and all the coolest stuff will be, but we'll do some pre-sale and post-sale where, you know, the hardcore hodlers get the first crack at access, and then we allow everybody and not necessarily do all vouchers for everything. Does the pre-sale pack token give the pre-sale promo airdrop to the buyer only, or does it go to the one who opens the pack or holds the pre-sale pack token? It goes to the buyer. With all the lore detail, do you have a Splinterlands MMO planned? I wouldn't say planned. You know, blockchain games are like so freaking hard to make. Like the number one outcome that's the most likely thing is you raise a lot of money and then you produce nothing. An MMO is just like a giant freaking project. So I would love to make one, but that's probably not the next thing that I would work on. Can we get disclosed before the pre-sale the percent drop chance of the 13 pre-sale airdrop cards per Chaos Legion pack would help to decide between buying vouchers or the packs on the secondary market? I can ask Matt about it. I don't know that we'll announce it. You know, we typically, he hates having numbers up front, and I challenged him on that, and eventually I was like, crap, you're right. So I don't know. It seems unlikely that we'll tell you ahead of time. We'll tell you at the time that we launch it. But my guess is that it's still going to stay in those kind of ranges, that if you're buying the like 500 pack thing, it's likely that you'll get one, maybe even guaranteed. Are you concerned with the introduction of vouchers and the higher price of $4 per pack, that the price of entry is getting pretty high for new players? Not really. I mean, think about how much money you guys have been making. It's absurd. I mean, people tell me this line is cringy, but I just freaking love it. We've been minting millionaires since 2018. And, you know, a lot of those people didn't come here with $1 million, you know, that they started with. So, you know, yes, we increased the price. We made the packs more scarce than we were originally planning as a result of that. And, you know, $4 is certainly more than $2, but, you know, to get started, you know, you can still just rent cards, right? I know that's a pain in the butt for like a brand new player to go figure all that stuff out. And that's why they need a lot of hand holding. And actually, Darren Claxton is in here. He's going to go join us as and one of the things that I hope he'll do is do some like hospitality time and try to walk people through this. And I'm actually thinking of hiring more than one person to go do this. And just they're not like full AMAs, but just like any time that you need help doing something in the game, we'll have some people on staff that can just walk you through how to do it. So like if you're like, hey, I'm renting cards for the first time and I have no idea what to do, you would hop into the hospitality room and go into there. So that's one of the things I think we can do to help new players that isn't necessarily just, save them $2. During the pre-sale, there are 33,333. You have one extra 3 in there. How many vouchers will you release per day after the pre-sale? That isn't disclosed yet, but we'll get some numbers on that. If you buy a voucher and mint the pack, will you still receive airdrop rewards, or do you have to mint the voucher for rewards? If you buy a voucher and mint the pack, if you have the pack in your inventory, you'll get the airdrop points. Will the Legionnaire title give airdrop points, and if so, how much? I believe the answer is yes, and I can't tell you how much yet because Matt hasn't said it. DEC price has been going parabolic. Yes, it has. It's been fun to watch, and seem to have more value than SPS at the moment due to airdrops. Any thought on increasing value for SPS aside from the vouchers? Well, I don't know, man. I think the vouchers are pretty amazing. So it's probably my proudest crypto invention that I've done to date. I am super proud of vouchers. So I don't think that we're going to need more, is my guess. But we'll see. We're always looking at conditions, and we try not to knee jerk to stuff. I'd rather let markets do markets. We don't have to respond to every little thing in the game. But I think as we build more stuff, and as you see the vouchers get more and more deeply ingrained into what we're doing, you'll be stoked. You mentioned that vouchers will still be needed in the near future. If we buy the chaos in exchange of voucher, does it mean that the voucher will be removed on our account, or will it be marked as used? It'll be like a currency, and that currency will be spent. What is your position about balancing the game? I mean, is it possible that you give a nerf or an up to a card in the future if this card happened to be too over or underpowered? Yeah, we really try not to do that. We've done it on a couple, and we really don't like it, and the players don't like it. One of the things we plan to do is leave that up to the players through the governance system. And then the other thing that we want to do is try to counter cards. So the new force field ability is a good example of this, where Lamacron is just overpowering everybody. So we're going to go introduce a counter to Lamacron with force field that will take that giant attack and bring it down to 1. So it doesn't nullify the card. The combo is still freaking powerful. But if all you're doing is spamming Lamacron and somebody knows that it's coming, it's pretty easy to counter. And, I think that it just opens up possibilities. You said the new packs were to get new players in the game at a lower price point, yet you were making players pay $2 more per pack, and they need a voucher, which forces someone wanting to buy 1,000 packs at this point to stake 120,000 SPS or about 70,000. Just curious how the vouchers after pre-sale help anyone new or with little money. Well, right. So the vouchers are more for the pre-sale, which is went to the OGs that have been supporting us forever. We want to make sure that they have access to the packs that have the most benefit, and that's what the pre-sale does. And it packs in some extra benefit because you're getting things like Dr. Blight. So we definitely want to support the OGs, but on the same side, we're not making every single pack require a voucher, or at least I don't think we will. So it's kind of that. I don't know, it's kind of the balance, right? You're right that the pre-sale stuff doesn't help new players terribly much. It does help the OGs that have been here forever. But once we're out of the pre-sale, that's when having new packs should help everybody. Why Splinterlands related D-City entry ticket is low in price? I rarely see tournaments with D-City entry ticket. That's a better question for Gerber than for me. Question, what will the team do with the SPS used to purchase Chaos Legion packs by players? Stake it, use it as rewards for tournaments, or something else? Mostly, I think we'll treat it as revenue to the business, and we'll have to figure out what we want to do with the revenue that we've earned. It's possible that we'll pay some of our employees or contractors with it if they'll take it. We might have to sell some of it on the market. We might, stake it. We might hodl it, but it's, we're selling things in the business, and that's some of the revenue that we're here to earn. Can you turn on purchase credits back on the app, please, with a llama on top? If purchase credits goes away, it's usually because there's something wrong. And it's not oh, hey, we're doing this purposely to mess with people. There's usually either a bug that has broken purchase credits, or there's something like PayPal has just randomly shut us off again, which apparently they do to lots of people. That's not like specific to us as cryptocurrency folks. It's just, sometimes PayPal just shuts people off, and that's all you get. So I don't know. It's a pain in the butt. We know it. There's nothing we can do about it. At some point, I hope to have more payment plans on the website. We'll see. We renew the mobile apps to polished native apps. The current web apps mobile is too slow. I don't know what we're going to do. We're probably not anytime soon. How many monsters and summoners in Chaos Legion? Well, there should be 4 commons, 3 rares, 2 epics, and 1 legendary per splinter. And that gets you the base number. There should be 5 rare summoners, and then you have all the airdrop cards too. When will purchase of credits in app be activated again? Just shared that. Can we have ability icons added as emotes in here in Discord, please? Yeah, maybe that's something Clay can do. I don't actually know. How many days before Chaos white paper drop, and will we see previews of cards before Chaos or same day? I don't know when this stuff will roll out. The white paper basically dropped. There's more details that we'll need, so I don't know that we'll call it the next white paper. It's probably just phase 2 or something. Are the devs concerned about the low income for new players and how this can affect the game growth by attracting less people? I find that question a little bit confusing. But right, I guess my point is after the pre-sale, packs are $4. That's still pretty inexpensive, and we mean to keep it inexpensive. It is not as inexpensive as $2, but this is crypto, and crypto is typically not the same kind of like cheap dollar stuff that you'll see. I think that we're actually being pretty considerate of the less financially off players. Will Rift Vouchers cost be a little less than 3,000 DEC because of how much DEC costs today? We're looking at $32 a pack. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be available with SPS. I think it's going to be something like $3 a pack, and then we'll make it, there the guild discounts will apply, and it'll be not a set 3,000 DEC, but the $3 that we're going for. How much is every pack going to be worth in DEC for the SPS airdrop? I think he said 300. Question, in the 3 Commas Capital report, how was the implied value of a voucher for the Chaos Legion totaled at 136? Implied value of vouchers. I don't know. That's a better question for them, but that's a high number. Minus pack purchases, implied value of vouchers. Assumed pack value $15. Yeah, I'd have to go look through that. I was checking it out, but I don't remember all of those stats. But that's a lot. Oh, and look at the SPS staked is 110 million, but that is not how much is staked currently. How much is staked currently is 126 million. So since that came out, we've staked another 16 million SPS. When like Chaos Legion was announced, it was like 90 million staked, and now we're up to 126 million. So I guess we've staked 36 million since that came out, which is amazing. That's a lot of money. You guys have staked a lot of money. Will Chaos Legion cards also be given out as cards in daily chest and season rewards? No. Will you make it a possibility for us to buy cards with SPS? Not on the market. You can buy credits with SPS, and then you can buy that stuff. Question, is this Splinterlands treasury healthy? I can imagine scaling this game is not cheap. Yes, we're sitting on a bunch of money. We're doing quite well. Do I get any benefits by buying only 1 to 5 packs in the pre-sale? I mean, you still get a chance at early airdrops. So, yes, I think my answer is yes. We can add more emotes in Discord, Clove says. That's good. Question, not a question, but I have a solution for mobile crypto payments. DM me tomorrow after you're better. Thanks, Nachos. Please provide us gifts and images for what that might be. When are the final details about Chaos Legion going to be released? Hopefully before the 18th. Is there any plan to be able to rent out gladiator cards? I think as brawls expand, being able to rent gladiators for more successful brawls should be a priority. I don't know. I don't think so. We really want those to be soul-bound. We'll see how it goes. How viable do you think a guild bank would be for players to donate? We already answered that question. I think guild banks are sweet. Matt said something like we should turn them from like, centralized guilds to more like DAOs where, the stake weight of the voters gets to have an impact. I tend to think of guilds as little businesses in the game, especially when we start dropping SBS into the guilds, it'll feel even more like that. How will you meter out packs after pre-sales for SBS staker and newcomers? Well, at some point we will probably stop metering them out, but we haven't released the next set of this. Can we get Chaos Legion packs from chess? Yes. What is the drop rate? I think it's 1% chance. How do guilds earn SPS in the future? We just need to get there. I mean, that's part of the white paper that there's money, there's SPS that goes out to the guilds. And we just need to keep building all the things. Now that the servers are a little bit more stable, it's a little easier to do. All right, I got maybe 15 more minutes and then I'm calling it quits because, like I said, I'm a bit under the weather. Do you have plan to change the price of the legendary potions and alchemy potion purchasing with DEC at the shop? Pay with DEC is currently about 10 times more expensive than pay with credits. Yeah, we'll probably make that market price based. Will the airdrop points of a Chaos Legion pack unopened be the average of what DEC power open cards will have, or the same points on average? At 300 is the unopened Chaos Legion pack. If you pay with SBS, then the 10% presale discount, correct? You will be able to earn packs at 1% reward drop from daily quests. When will this take effect? Right after the presale or during the presale? I actually don't know. I'm thinking of the ability icons. Hey, I made it to the end. All right. Since I made it to the end, and this is a little bit of a slower one, I think we should just call it here. Like I said, I've had a 100-degree fever all day, so I think we're gonna cut it here. You get to the end, and that's good stuff. So, anyways, guys, you're swell. Hopefully, you feel like the Splinterlands is in good hands. That we are growing. That the team is growing. That there's really cool lore that's here. That the Chaos Legion is right around the corner, and all the good stuff here. So, you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for participating. I don't know. It's just it's a blessing to have Nate here and Manser and Hardpoint and all the new guys that are coming. So thanks everybody. Have a great night and enjoy your weekend.